Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from my little hiatus. The batteries are charged, and I'm ready to get back to work. So let's get started. What's happening, everybody? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. If you're new to the channel, be so kind, hit that subscribe button, that like button. Oh man, all that, because it was wigging out, wasn't it? The notifications bell, all of that. Yeah, it's acting loopy. So let's get to this guy. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, come and check me out, man. If you like the content, you like what we talk about here, and man, just hit that subscribe button, notification bell, all of that. Give a comment if you like. If there's one thing that trips me out, right, is about how many people are having so many problems of taking constructive criticism when these people were quick to give us all the criticism, all the smoke, all the fade about the problems with Xbox. Had no problems with it. Now it seems now, since the shoe was on the other foot, they can't handle the energy. Like there's people that's blocking people because of just disagreements about the console war aspect of it, I suppose you want to call it, or just people out here having natural, true complaints, which there were complaints about the Xbox One that were true. It may have been painful or hurtful. It may have been things where people got upset about, but there was some legitimate problems with the Xbox One. There was no doubt about it. The Xbox One, I felt, was a good console. I enjoyed the Xbox One, and millions of other people did too. But when it was just compared to its predecessor, or just to a competitor, even, it was lacking. And so therefore the Xbox One is going to be that console that people will remember because it had some really good, cool games. But for the console itself, it just wasn't in the same level as what the 360 is, and now what the Series X is already, and the S is already. And we're just in the beginning of this new generation. So again, with that being said, this is something that I came up on. It was kind of crazy because I when I looked at it, I thought it was satire, and I'm going to just go straight to it right now. And I was like, no, this can't be a real article. And sure enough, there it is. And here we go. Boom. I looked at this and I'm like, what? And at first I thought, like I said, I thought it was like the Onion or something like that. I'm like, oh, they're tripping, because I didn't fall for it, but I read through it, and it was talking about something with Jim Ryan and saying something was trash. And once you read it, you knew that it wasn't true. And it was meant to be funny. I didn't find it too funny. I just found it silly, but it is what it is. And so I thought this magazine was the same, but it's not. It's actual legit magazine that talks about news, and there's people that write articles. It talks about technology, music, fashion, everything else. And so yeah, this was pretty wild to see this off the bat. And then it says, the PlayStation 5 sucks actually. And then it goes into this spiel right here where it says, it's been 274 days since the launch of the PlayStation 5. It's the most powerful PlayStation ever made. It's it broken records. It has ray tracing, display 8K content. It's the greatest controller ever made. Demand is so high, you still can't even buy one. And it kind of sucks actually. So then I looked at it, it was like, oh, okay. It was one of those bait and switch. It was wanted to try to entice you to think that they were going to be messy, and it was basically going to give PlayStation praise, which, okay, that's fine. I mean, we've read these before, but the more that you get into it, once it gets right in here and talking about the SSDs, I was like, no, what? It was, and you know how I've talked about the SSD expansion situation, and it has been a debacle. It's been absolutely a blunder. It's been crazy. And again, there was a lot of PlayStation content creators out there that just was trying to Sweep it under the rug. It's not that big of a deal. Try to make every excuse in the world, knowing that if this was Xbox and they were having the same type of issues, it would be doomsday every day. It would be like the beginning of the end of the Xbox because they don't know how to do expansions. They having issues, and especially how Sony did it, where people are talking about their how much are these things going to cost, or people had ideas about it and they just shut it out, locked it out, didn't say anything for months, and then they eventually just come out and they tell you, well, we're going to let you know something here within by the summer. And then when they do, it's a quick little something. Here's a list of a couple of them, and have people beta test it just to see if it works or not. And again, people damage control, people are going to do this, going to do it. Was just an absolute disgusting situation. You know how much I think it was a big mess, and it was really wrong for Sony in a lot of ways. But they talked about that, and I was like, whoa. Now they're talking about the design, and again, it's the eye of the beholder. You either like the console or you don't. It kind of reminds me of the situation with the X1, people calling it a big VCR, a toaster oven, all of that. But they go a little bit deeper with this, and they talk about the swappable faceplates, which the swappable faceplates is a cool feature because you can customize your console the way that you want to. I was like, oh yeah, Sony's going to rake with that because they're really good with customization. Now, the fact of it is that all the good, cool stuff that we've been seeing isn't from actual Sony, it's from other producers and manufacturers, and Sony are now trying to sue them. And it's like, okay, well, Sony, hurry up and produce something from your end. Even though, I mean, you can have something for Recore, you can have something for PlayStation All-Stars. Yeah, I know. Does that seem like I'm being petty about that? I know, I get that. But regardless, okay, stop. But I'm saying, they could have already had some faceplates. I mean, there's Kina coming. Okay, all right. I'll stop. Okay, all right. So they go on and talk about that. They're talking about the playing games. Now, this was pretty interesting, right? And I will link the link in the description with this article and let people just read all the way through it because it was very interesting, right? So they were talking about, hey, Sony has yet to produce a must-have experience exclusively for its next-gen behemoth. It says the vast majority of games are cross-platform, something we usually celebrate if it weren't for Sony's batshit decision to forego anything resembling Microsoft's smart delivery system. Another shot. And it also was talking about its competitor, which a lot of people was trying to make fun of smart delivery, and then they're coming out here now and actually wish that there are a lot of stuff going on with the smart delivery. Now, again, we knew about Hellblade and all this other stuff. Now, this is pretty interesting right here, and they put this stuff in bold letters. New users will be hard-pressed to know whether they're playing a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 versions of a given game. And they go into detail talking about this as well by saying, new users will be hard-pressed, of course, to know whether they'll be playing on it. And they say this selects which you'd like to install and play. You have to enter a sub-menu, not indicated anywhere in the interface, and select the correct system. Why would anyone who owns the PlayStation 5 opt to play a PlayStation 4 game? And then they'll say that, they give their situation for it. It is crazy. And it says, unlike Xbox, where your game saves just auto-magically arrived whenever you happen to be playing, Sony requires customers to either migrate the data from their old PlayStation 4, which many people sell in order to afford even the lower end $399 digital version of the PlayStation 5, move their saved files into external storage, or pay for PlayStation Plus. And then they get in and start talking about PlayStation Plus. And of course, we all know about that. And, of course, PlayStation did acquire Crunchyroll. And I think that they're going to have a premium PSN bundle and where they'll have Crunchyroll and PSN. But we haven't heard if they're going to implement PlayStation Now, because PlayStation Now is sold separately. Anyway, we already know that that's a disaster. PlayStation Plus, right here, and it sucks. And so they go into that, and they just say, look, saying you can stream through the PlayStation Now, Sony's other service that they offer. PlayStation Now is a company's cloud streaming service. Of course, we knew about that. And it says, there's no doubt that it's a far worse streaming solution with worse latency, picture quality, and much older graphics than NVIDIA GeForce Now, Google Stadia, or Amazon Luna, and it's not even on par with xCloud. And it says, unlike Microsoft's service, not all games are available to download and play locally. And so, listen, are they wrong about it? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, sometimes you hear stuff that kind of gets you upset or, because it's a nitpick. But are they actually really nitpicking? Or are they really actually talking about how problematic these issues are? Okay, we'll continue. It goes in here and it talks about the day-to-day. The PlayStation 5 has a nasty habit of constantly logging my husband in instead of me, the primary user of the console. Now, I will say, I've heard people say that it's not that difficult. Of course, some stands will just say anything is not a problem or anything like that. But with this being said, I don't know. This might be a little nitpicky. I've seen people say, like I said, that it's not that big of a deal. So I'm gonna let that one slide. All right. And then of course they go in talking about the quick resume, which Xbox has, PlayStation doesn't have. There was people trying to say that PlayStation had a version of quick resume. No, they don't. All right. So, they were talking about the media, better help customers to focus, get these tasks as separate but dedicated users for the console. Okay, so with this, I don't know, could be a little nitpicky. That's a different thing, but maybe it's a legitimate point. What I'm saying? It's even going to the point of saying even the consoles dedicated to DVD and Blu-ray player is utterly bare bones. Sony, the company that cemented the DVD place in home videos with its release of the PlayStation 2, only offers some light noise reduction in place of the suite of the playback feature already created and available in its line of Blu-ray players. I guess it felt the need to double dip. Okay, I don't know. But then this is the legitimate part, because I have seen PlayStation fans get upset about this and talk about the 1440p resolution. That is a little odd. Again, are they really just nitpicking, or are they really talking about some legitimate issues with the PlayStation 5 right now? And then the turnoff thing, I'm going to say that that's a nitpick. Just got to go with it. But this thing right here in big cap words, it says, in everyday use, these annoyances compound into a frustrating portrait of a company unable or unwilling to create a user-friendly experience. Woo. Woo. Damn. Anyway, I like I said, the link will be in the description. It's pretty crazy to me that we don't see this type of stuff. We damn sure didn't see anything like this last gen, and I haven't seen anything negative talked about the PlayStation, except for when the last time I seen somebody talk about the PlayStation 3 in an article. It was in a Game Pro, and it could have been, just a little small tidbit where somebody just said a little something, but this is brutal. And again, are they legitimate? Or is it because I don't have a dog in the fight? I don't really care. You can like this article, you can hate this article. I'm not here to say that the article's is being very biased. I'm not here to say that the article is the champion of everything. The one thing I will say is that I'm pleased is that they're at least being consistent. Now, if they had something about Xbox that somebody could show me or something like that, hey, let me know. Let me see it. But I've seen a lot of the people take stands and take shots at the Xbox Series X. And so, look, if the media does this to where you have an idea of what's the good parts of each console, that's the type of stuff that we want to see, instead of just giving all praise to one and no praise to the other. But there's a lot of things in here that I have heard a lot of people discuss, and a lot of things that I know personally from people who have a PlayStation 5 who's made these gripes. So with that being said, I hope you guys will check out the next video. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I don't know, man. This was wild to me. But anyway, until the next video, everybody have a good one. Peace. We are out of here. Whoa.